Come on, you're gonna start barking as soon as I start. Okay. Hi there, my little demons and divas and demonites. Bienvenidos. See what I mean? My little demons and divas and demonites, bienvenidos. Welcome back to my channel. Que la que miente, estamos activados, estamos encendidos. It is I, Isa, aka the Demon Diva and the Big Dog. And we have thoughts about the draft. As you all know, tonight is part 2 of the draft. And I just wanted to share some thoughts that came to my mind about it. But before I get started, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I go live every night, basically, with watch-alongs. This week, we're going to have all kinds of watch-alongs. We're going to do a watch-along for Raw, NXT, Dynamite, SmackDown, and Backlash. We're also going to have some members-only hangout. We're only going to have the second part of the mock draft stream. We have all kinds of content planned for you guys, so please make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you know when a video goes up. But let's get to what we are here for, which is the draft night 2. Night 1 was very underwhelming. It felt like, you know, when the teacher is just like calling out the names to see who's in class? That's what that felt like. Like, there was not a lot of big changes. You know, some of the things that I liked was Nia Jax to SmackDown. I like that Bianca Belair was the #1 draft pick. That made me very happy to see. I love seeing Carmelo Hayes getting called up from NXT. I don't know how I feel about. I've never been big on Kiana James, but I think she's gonna kill it on Raw. I don't think there was much more for her to do in NXT, if I'm being honest with you. So I'm excited to see what she does. But really, outside of that, nothing really happened that was big. You know what I mean? Especially with the new rules protecting the champions. One of the first thoughts that I can give you is that I thought changing the names and the belts and all that was going to be a way that we could draft champions, you know, without having to go through the struggle of the Raw and the SmackDown names attached to their titles. But I guess that's not the case. But protecting the champions really limited what we can do. And then you withdraw your biggest star, which is Roman Reigns. And it just felt very uneventful. Now, the pool of names is bigger tonight. But there are some things that I really would like to see tonight, just for it to feel significant, for it to make a difference. And I'll go over some of the things that I wrote down. The first thing that I have is there's certain factions that I think should be split up for different reasons. I'll get started. The first name that I have under my split up certain factions, I hate to say it because I love Judgment Day, but Dominic is possibly out for a little bit. Rhea is out for a little bit. So I wouldn't be opposed to Finn Balor just being drafted single to maybe SmackDown and keep him away from the rest of Judgment Day for a bit. I don't know that Finn Balor has felt any bigger. Not even when he was in the program with Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know that Judgment Day has done a lot for Finn. I think that Judgment Day has done a lot for Priesty. I think it's done a lot for Rhea. I think it's done a lot for Dominic. But there's somebody that has felt staggered, and that's Finn Balor. And I think Finn Balor, if you separate him from Judgment Day, you can put him in a world title picture. You can put him in a mid-card title. You know, you can put him in the United States Championship. I think him and Logan Paul would actually kill it. I think that would be a great way to see the Demon come back, because Finn told me there was a chance.
There will be a time in the future that the Demon returns, but I don't think anytime soon.
So, yeah, I don't know. I like the Judgment Day. I'm a big Judgment Day girl, but I wouldn't mind seeing Finn be a peacock and fly on his own. Another faction that I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say it. It's LWO. I wouldn't mind seeing Joaquin and Cruz Toro get drafted individually to Raw, but I wouldn't mind seeing Zelina Vega being split up from them. She tweeted that she's fed up with this BS, and maybe put her on SmackDown and let's reunite her with Andrade and let's see them do their magic together again, while Zelina is more of an in-ring competitor, because during her time managing Andrade, she wasn't as much of an in-ring competitor as she has been, with LWO. And then we'll let the rest of the world figure out that Ray really is the problem. Everybody online talking about all these people turning on Ray, and I'm like, well, what is the common denominator? It's Rey Mysterio. Also, I don't like Los Lobos Locos with Santos Escobar. I do like Santos with La Madrina Electra Lopez, but I'm not sure that I like Santos with Los Lobos Locos. That is #not my legado. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that split up as well. Karrion Kross and the Final Testament just hasn't really hit for me. But I'm not sure that they're ready to split that up yet, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. And with the turn that we saw last week on Monday Night Raw, I also would not mind seeing Gunther go to SmackDown and maybe keep, what's his name? Baldy and Ludwig Kaiser on Raw to feud on their own. Call up Dragunov from NXT to SmackDown, and we really have something going. I think Gunther could be competing for a world championship. I know he said he wants to be King Gunther, which sounds just right. I just hope that Triple H now makes the King and Queen of the Ring matter. Maybe they'll get a title shot, because the last few King and Queen of the Ring, they were just there for the gimmick, but nothing. It didn't mean much winning that. So if you draft Gunther to a different show and have King and Queen of the Ring maybe become automatic #1 contenders, that will be something. You know what I mean? Gunther and Cody Rhodes, we saw a preview of that at the 2023 Royal Rumble, and it was obviously a banger. And then Gunther can beat Cody. Yeah. All right. Another thing that, and I have that actually on the following bullet point, is Gunther and Shinsuke to SmackDown. I feel like they're so powerful, and Gunther, after losing the Intercontinental Championship, needs a reset. And Shinsuke, man, you know, Shinsuke deserves better, right? Yeah, I agree. Shinsuke deserves a little bit better. I think putting him in a different show could be a great reset button for him, and put him in different programs, having start winning some matches. So I wouldn't mind seeing Gunther and Shinsuke to SmackDown. Another thing that I wouldn't mind is champions and former champions should feel more important. On the rules, it said that the tag team champions, the women's tag team champions, were fair play, and they did not get drafted on Friday. What do you mean? Like, what kind of executives wouldn't want current champions on their show? So I hope the Kabuki Warriors get drafted pretty early on tonight, because they are champion. You are adding a championship to your program, not for much longer, because I'm very certain that Jade and Bianca are going to take those belts from them. And what happens if Jade gets drafted to Raw? Bianca's on SmackDown, if they become tag team champions, what does that mean? I have all the questions in the world. Another thing is, with the NXT call-ups, as I was mentioning, I'm very happy with Carmelo Hayes. We'll see what Kiana James can do, but you just had Dragunov and Lyra Valkyria lose the world championships in NXT, and nobody even looked at them in the draft. That just seems weird to me. Baron Corbin. Oh, yeah, I forgot to talk about that. Baron Corbin is back on SmackDown. That made me very happy. Baron Corbin got called up, and that one that I don't have a problem with. I did like Baron in his time in NXT, but I'm not going to mind seeing him on Friday Night SmackDown. Another thing that I have written down is Naomi. I like what they were doing with Naomi, Jade, and Bianca. So if Jade and Bianca were to get drafted to the same show, maybe draft Naomi to a different show, because I don't like how they just completely split up such a powerful faction without it making sense. It would have made more sense if they split up due to the draft. Well, granted that Naomi is now in the main title picture, while Bianca and Jade are going for the tag title. So you can say they're all going for gold, but it just felt like we just kicked Naomi to the curb after WrestleMania, and now it's just all about Jade and Bianca. And I don't know. I like them together. So maybe separate them just so it doesn't seem so obvious that we just don't want, not saying that we don't want Naomi to be involved in the story, but how did it go from Naomi being such a big part of this powerful trio, and now she's just not there anymore. And last but not least, what do we do with Drew and CM Punk? With CM Punk being injured, and we really haven't been clear on when he's coming back, do we draft them to separate shows so they don't interact immediately? Or would you like to see them in the same show so as soon as Punk comes back, he is able to go right after Drew McIntyre, since that is what happened at Mania, and then CM Punk kind of cost Drew McIntyre the number 1 contender spot. So I wouldn't mind if they kind of split, and then we can reunite that storyline later on. But I would like to know your opinions. What do you think of the draft night 1? And what do you think WWE could do to make tonight feel like a big deal and a lot of changes has happened? Let me know in the comments down below. I will be doing another mock draft. What did I just say? I will be doing another mock draft stream today in the afternoon. And also, we're going to be doing a Monday Night Raw watch along. So let's see how this draft goes down together. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so that way you can tune in for the watch along later tonight. And like I said, I'll be back later with a live. I just wanted to sit on here and give you guys some quick thoughts about some of the things that WWE could do for the draft night 2 to feel a little bit better than night 1, because I just didn't think that night 1 lived up to the expectation. Maybe we hyped it up too much. Maybe it's our fault. Wow, this is a toxic relationship we have with wrestling. I'm blaming myself instead of blaming them for giving us a crappy draft. It's time to go. Until not next time, in a little bit. Adios. Mwah.